Hey there, today we'll be doing this question that appeared in today's Leetcode daily challenge, that is 567 permutation and string. And the given question statement is given two strings S1 and S2, return true if S2 contains a permutation of S1 or false otherwise. So let's understand the question statement better. So here, let's just take another string that is ABC, FCCBA, something like this. And there's another string such as ABF. Now they have said that we just need to check that if this string occurs in this other string in any form of permutation, and permutation means all the characters can be rearranged in any fashion. The only thing is that it just needs to be here. So one of the permutation that is possible is FAB of the string, and it is indeed present right here. So we can conclude that yes, it is present there, and we can return a true. Now what cannot be a permutation of this one is if I say that a string something like C, I'll just increase the size, CCA, this is the string right here. And if I say that I am trying to find BBA, now can we do it? Obviously not. We cannot form a string BBA from this CCA, right? That is never possible. So we'll be returning a false. So how about going this question? Now, first of all, we can think of a brute force approach, that is form all the permutation, right? Form all permutation. That is one of the thing that we can do. But remember, permutation is taking a lot of time. That is, it will take, if the length of the string increases 10, it will exceed well within the range of 10 to the power 6, and we'll be getting a TLE, of course. That is what we can do, but we will not be able to get a AC if we try that approach. So we'll have to come up with a better approach. Now this is where we can play in with the frequency and try to get in with the approach. Now let's see how the frequency approach can help us find it in a better time complexity, and it could get our code accepted. So already I've written two strings, that is S2 and S1. And what do we need to do? We need to just check that if the string S1 is present in S2 in some permutation form. Fine. So I said that we'll be trying frequency approach. Now how do we do that? So first of all, we have just taken the frequency of string 1 and stored it somewhere. Okay, that is S1F. This is the frequency array that we have made, and it is of 26 size obviously, and but I have not written the whole thing right here, but it is from A to Z. Okay, let's just consider this for now. And I've already marked the frequencies of this one. Now coming on to the S2F, this is the part where we will be checking that is S1 present in S2. Now let's begin our iterations, and you'll be understanding on how we are going to do this. Now we'll be trying the simplest sliding window approach, and if you don't know about it, don't worry, it is very simple and you'll understand it very well. Okay, so let's start from the first iteration, that is A. Now remember, what is our S1's length? This is 3, right? So always we will be checking for strings of length 3 only, not greater than 3, not less than 3, but just exactly 3. So coming on to this part right here, what do we see? At first we are at A, so the frequency of A will be 1, and the other frequencies are 0 for now. That is totally right. Now is the length of the string that I have equals to 3? No, we have right now A. Let's just consider this as a dummy string, okay, for now, for understanding purpose, but this will not actually be there. This is just for explanation. So this is our dummy string that we are creating right here. Is the length of the string 3? Obviously not. So we move on to the next one. We go on to B. Now at B, okay, so B has been created. Well and good. So we again increase the frequency of B by 1. Now is the length of the string 3? No. Move on to the next A. We see, okay, now the length of the string is 3. Well and good. So let's just increment the frequency of this one right here. Now all we have to do is we just need to check both the frequency arrays. Are the frequency arrays same? If it is same, we return a true. Now we go on to matching the frequency of both the arrays. That is, we check, is the frequency of A 0 here and 0 here? Obviously not. So this can never be similar. So here we can conclude that okay, we have not found a permutation of it. And here also we can clearly see that the string that we have got is ABA and not DEB, right? So this is done. So we did not get it. Fine. We can now move on to the next index, that is E. We have gotten here. So let's add E to our string right now, and let's add it to our frequency also right here. We have added it, well and good. But now we see that okay, I was considering for all the length 3 string, but I do have 4 strings right now, right? What can we do? We can just say that I can ignore the first one and remove it, so as to make sure our length or the string that we are checking for is only of size 3. So what do? We removed the A. Now as we removed the A, what do we do now? We also have to remove its frequency, right? So we decrease the frequency of A by 1. That is what we are doing. Now we have a string BAE. Now again, what do? We see that the length of the string is 3. So what do? We match the frequencies. And is it similar? Obviously not. So we move on to the next part, that is D. Now we have added D here. So what do we do now? Again, we just need to add it to our frequency right here. We have added it. But now again, we see that we have gotten a string of length 4. So what is our next process? You must have guessed it. We remove this B from our string right here. So what do we do now? We just simply remove the frequency of B also. So this becomes 0. So now you must be getting to the answer, right? You must be getting okay, this is how we are going to deal with this type of questions right here. We have gotten EED. Now what do? What is our next step? We have a string of length 3. Always match the frequencies. Are the frequencies same? Obviously not. So we what do? We just move on to the next part, that is to the B. Now we have B here, and we see the length of the string gets 4. What do? We remove the A from our string so as to make sure the length is confined to 3 only. We remove the frequency of this one. We add the frequency of B by 1, and this is done. Now we see that our next approach is just to match the frequencies of both the arrays. And now you can see both the arrays frequency will completely match. And what is our formed string? It is EDB. And remember, we are concerned about the permutation, not the exact string. We are concerned about only the permutation. And it does match, right? It does match with S1, which is also present in S2, and we can completely return a true here. So this is the whole approach of how we are going to deal with this type of question. We just simply say, I will maintain a frequency array of the first one, the string I want to match it, and the next one is the string that I will be trying to get. So I'll be trying to get this string from this S2. Now at every step, I will be only matching with the length of this S1, right? So this is the whole approach on how to go about doing this problem. And let's just check onto the code. And this is an easy one. This is not very hard. If you just dry run it once, you'll get this. And this approach is actually used many a times. So this is a very important approach right here. So at first, what have we done? We have just created the frequency array that we talked about. That is this one right here. This frequency array, this is S1F, right? After that, what we have done is, I've just taken out the lengths. And remember, we talked about that we were moving 2 pointers, right? Remember, there was a pointer which was saying, okay, I'm going forward, but at the time when our string became of length 4, right? What did we do? We just move our pointer from the next to next part. That is what we are doing. We are making sure we are taking a two pointer approach. That means somewhere, if I have a string of, let's just say, ABCD, one of my pointer always stays here and one of my pointer is here. As soon as I see that my length increases more than 3, what will I say? I'll just say, okay, the first pointer, wherever you were, you move one step ahead. So my confined space, that is the length, will always be equals to 3. So this length can obviously vary for question to question, but for now we are just taking the example with 3. Fine. So this is a two pointer approach that we are taking here. What do we do? At first, we just say we increment the frequency by 1, which is in our temp. Okay. And at any given point, if my length increases by what I need, what do? I just delete it from the first. Whatever we had at the first, we just delete it. So this is the part where we delete it. And this is the part where we match the frequencies. If my lengths are similar, that means the pointers lengths are similar, what do? We just match both the frequency array, and if it does return a true, we return it a true. Otherwise, at the end of the day, we just return false. Fine. So this is the whole code walkthrough, and if you do have any doubt, please do ask me in the comment. I'll be replying to it surely. And if you did understand the question and the explanation, please do hit a like and do subscribe to my channel. And yeah,